Hey guys, Ark here, bringing to you the next episode of the gameplay series. This is going to be a practice game that Cruncher and I played yesterday, so today is the 16th. This is from my stream last night on the 15th. We played quite a few games together. This is going to be just kind of doing a quick overview of it as the early parts of the game are going. Some other recent news, if you guys want to check out DreamHack. That'll be next week starting Friday. I will be playing in the open bracket and hoping to at least make the top 16. That is my top goal is the top 12 for that $750 prize, but I'm shooting for the top 16 at least to get into the prize at all. Other than that, though, guys, check out my Learn Night Elf YouTube series, of course, on my YouTube here, or feel free to check me out while I'm streaming on Twitch. This is gonna be a little bit different of a I guess gameplay video than what I've done in the past. The reason being is that I didn't, as these were practice games and everything, I was trying to really concentrate and do my best. So I wasn't necessarily commentating as I was playing, but I figured I'd try something out where I'm basically rewatching the game and giving my thoughts as I'm playing it. So there was quite a few games I could have picked from. One of them I did actually win. This is you know what? I won't spoil it, so we won't say whether this is a win or a loss. But this is on Amazonia, so I'm basically just doing a pretty opening build, and I do have it muted because, well, yeah, you know what? I don't talk too much during the video, so I'm pretty sure this will be perfectly fine. This is just the standard 21 food archer build, chapter 1, episode 1 of my Learning Night Elf YouTube series, if you care to check that out. I did mess up the lightning shield creeping here, so I didn't creep this as fast as I could have. Another thing I don't believe I do is I don't pull this green camp, that one right there, so I could use this wisp right here to aggro this creep camp to bring it towards my AOW, which speeds up this creeping quite a lot. And right there, that could have been really bad for me if he had stolen the experience from my Demon Hunter for that creep. That would have been really frustrating. Another thing I noticed as I was playing these games, I kind of recognized this as I was playing them, is that I'm not doing a great job with wisp control. You can kind of see right down, oops, there's that wisp right here. Definitely was susceptible at losing it. And then as far as wisp positioning, what I generally like to do is get a priest up at the start. So right here, I basically lose the wisp. He doesn't end up killing it right now, but he'll kill it soon. What I would have liked to have done was send my archer over here to pull the creeps to get the shadow priest. I don't end up doing it this game.
What is going on?
And I was a little bit off on my tech and everything. So these are all very minor mistakes, I would say, but they're mistakes that really should never exist.
Oh baby.
And the reason why I say that it should never exist is these aren't mistakes that my opponent has put onto me. They're mistakes just because I'm not fast enough playing the game. And so that's definitely a very low-hanging fruit type of things that could be easily improved. So that's generally my focus whenever I'm playing, is that, oh, the critter kind of helps me do quite a bit of damage. Plus he also kind of runs this here a little bit weirdly. So I don't know if I could have done a little bit better here blocking. But yeah, like right there, I was kind of missing the block, but he does end up having TP because he must have messed up his market or the item shop buying in some fashion. And I am actually delayed on my moonwall right now too. So these are all very minor mistakes that Cruncher himself is not putting onto me. So that's not ideal, I don't think. But anyways, the game is going pretty well for me. Just kind of some skirmishes going back and forth. This is often how the game looks going on. I think one mistake I am making right now is, well, other than the fact that my moonwolves are so delayed, I really messed up that, is I don't think I should have uprooted my AOW to send it to where I'm sending it to. The reason being is that I'm not getting, I would say I'm not far enough ahead to really defend that creep camp, to defend it from, or by defend I mean like if he aggroes onto me, I'm gonna lose my AOW and I'm not gonna be able to creep it. So I think moving that AOW there is a huge mistake. I think at a minimum, what I could have done was move it to my base instead, or maybe like walk it through my base through here and go to the item shop. I think anywhere over here is very expected from the human player, and I don't have a good enough lead to really defend it. So I think this direction is a little bit safer to defend because it's gonna. I'm closer to my base. I'm not stretched too thin. But another thing that I do think might have been better is just leaving it rooted and getting the archer range upgrade. That is in my opinion, that's almost a requirement in this matchup. So basically, to help defend against the archers, or excuse me, the rifle caster push, you'll go like 5 archers. It adds a lot to your army, but then you need the archer range upgrade as well, because what that will allow you to do is it just allows you to attack from a very safe distance. Especially with the bears and stuff, you want to be super far away from the opponent. There's no reason to be so close to them. And so that's definitely I think a huge mistake in this game, which I think was actually a pretty impactful mistake as well, was moving that AOW into position like I did there. This I could have, like let's say I had a staff, like a staff from my item shop. Had I bought a staff, I could have potentially saved my Naga there. That's kind of the downside to not building the early shop. But I think it's definitely something that I probably should have done. So those two mistakes combined allowed him to get my Naga and allows him to take a little bit of an advantage here, as I do lose the AOW and he does get the creep camp. I would also consider those relatively minor mistakes. The AOW kill is potentially a little bit of a more huge mistake, I guess, but these are just kind of all minor mistakes that are really adding up to start turning the tide in his favor. Here he's just doing some nice micro to deny me. I'm so close to level 3 I can taste it, but he is ultimately really denying it pretty well here. And again, I killed the Naga, so I mean his Naga's out level 1 really fast to revive, but I'm still getting aggressive here. I don't really see any riflemen, I just see footies. I guess as the observer right now, I don't 100% know exactly. I mean, he potentially could have gone double sanctum. I would assume he wouldn't, just because of what the meta is. Okay, and there's the first rifleman, so I know it's not double sanctum, which it's so uncommon now that I wouldn't even expected it. But and then I get the Naga kill, and that's level 3. I could have mana burned there if I was fast enough, but I was not. And I think right here I should have immediately switched to the rifleman. I did it with my archers, but not my heroes. I think that was a small mistake there. And I do go for the priest. That's perfectly fine. Mana burn, kill it. But I'm taking a lot of damage without dealing much right here. So that's why I really definitely think I should have switched over to the rifleman, because right here he's in his base. Like if he has a shop, which he almost surely does, I get absolutely nothing right here. But if I had immediately switched over to the rifleman, I get a rifle kill. And now I'm just going to lose potentially units unnecessarily. No, forced a HP potion, but I don't think it was that impactful. Don't have to burn a TP here, it looks like. But I just could have, I think I could have gotten more out of that harass had I just immediately switched over to the rifleman. I had heroes on my brain, that's why I kind of was solely focusing on that. But as far as everything else goes, I'm level 3. I've denied a lot of creeping. I've killed a decent amount from him. A priest. I killed his Naga twice. I would say I'm arguably doing pretty good right now. I'm getting my bears out. I was a little off on my macro, so you can see like I had quite a bit of gold that's just sitting in my lures right now. If I click on it, I think I have like, yeah, 2 bears going, master form queuing. So I could have had an extra bear at least by now, had I not messed up my macro a little bit. And I have a lot of lumber, so that's important too, because especially when you're going to be playing aggressive here soon, or excuse me, when the human tries to get aggressive here, you're going to want to use those wisps to detonate. And just creeping, trying to kill that critter, but I'm struggling. And so yeah, I mean overall I'd say I'm sitting pretty. I want to get that orb of venom and swap over that mana, or that what's it called? The +3 mantle. Mantle, is that what it's called? And, okay, so right here, I need to have Priest with me if I want to do this fight here. No master form. What am I doing here? This is terrible micro, terrible positioning, terrible everything. What am I doing? So, I guess in hindsight, what good would a Priest or a Wisp do right here? Well, for one, it detonates mana and potentially slow. Should have had an AMS potion probably on my Demon Hunter, and that would have stopped the slow. I would have gotten a lot more kills here. Definitely, if I reevaluate this fight, I won't jump to say AMS was needed there, but I think I should have had Wisp prepared to come if I wanted to fight him. And so now I'm in that awkward spot where I just lost a fight. I still have a crap ton of lumber, so I really needed to use Wisp there, I think. Really losing those archers, I would say, was pretty impactful, which all comes down to how I engaged that fight. So that fight at the item shop was definitely a pretty game-breaking fight. Not in the sense that like it's over already, but just in the sense that I kind of fed units unnecessarily. I just put myself in a position that that I didn't need to. So he's at this point he's probably creeping the this portion of the map. Oh, except I scout right here and he's not. So that one's a little bit weird to me. I unfortunately did engage this thinking he would run to the item shop.
Of course, they all go.
And so that's not ideal for me. But again, Wisps. So what am I missing right now? Wisps. I'm going in for the mana burn. I use AMS for some reason. And I lose a bear. So he's taking the hero level advantage, which is pretty huge. He's got mercs. I think it really all comes down. Like I can still, if I have Wisps right here, look at all these units right here, all clumped up. That if he had no mana right here, that's a huge amount of damage and tankiness that he's missing out on, especially considering some of the priests there. Yeah, so this was a terrible fight to engage. I mean, I have 1,000 wood. Look at this wood. That's absurd. Yeah, at this point, the game is not looking too pretty for me. But, I mean, he's still kind of, I wouldn't say he's overextending, but he's still susceptible to me. I mean, I have a level 3 Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter's pretty strong. I need to bring those Wisps. There we go. So I finally bring the Wisps. It is probably 12 minutes too, or 3 minutes too late, but look at that. I detonate that Water Elemental. I missed the Archmage, though, so he summoned some more. But just the fact that he lost a lot of mana here, I'm still able to do a decent amount of damage to him, I would say. But I think I still needed to continue the Wisp, because look, I'm slowed right here. So this fight went really well for me, if in all things considered. But I'm overextending. That's what happens when you overextend. And this is where I need the Wisp still. I would say this game is actually a lot closer than I would have thought. So I can't recall exactly how this game ends. Maybe this is the one I win. I don't know. This game's a lot closer than I remember. But oh, okay. So I'm leaving my base. Still, you gotta bring Wisp, dude. What am I doing? Okay, creep jack. Whoops. Ooh, that's a really nice creep jack, actually. Unfortunately, the rock golem is kind of in the middle of everything, so hopefully I don't lose aggro on that a little bit. Decent micro there, but again, the Wisps. Wisps are what were really the key that we're missing here. Look at all this slow, losing a lot of damage. My Archmage just kind of running around, or excuse me, that my Demon Hunter running around aimlessly a little bit. Dryad on auto abolish, that was definitely a mistake. Yeah, I overextended quite a bit here without Wisps. You really can't engage this fight here without Wisps. That's a huge mistake. So I'm probably down quite a bit on food count. Oh, I just saw the expo. Oh, that's not good. GG.
What up, Namu?
All right, so that was a pretty interesting game. I would say that really some of the keys in there. Obviously, I had some inefficiencies early on in the game. In hindsight, I would say that I entered it into tier 2 pretty decently. I think a huge mistake I really made was how I utilized that AOW. If I was going to do something like that, I need to at least get archer range upgrade or move it to a safe through a safer creep camp, something. Or if I had crept, if I was higher level than the archmage, like if it was 3 versus 2, I could definitely see myself doing that because I have an early game advantage and I can defend that way easier. But if I don't have that, it's very risky to do that, especially if I haven't upgraded archer range upgrade. Wisps were probably the big one. I would say I didn't utilize wisps well enough in the fights, and had I made use of those a little bit differently, or tried to make use of those, I think I certainly could have won that game. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are on this new this style of the gameplay series as well. This would allow me, I guess, to open up the amount of games I do, I guess, because sometimes I'll do practice games on my stream where I'm not talking or communicating as well, but certainly I can do that a little bit more, or I'll have more access to games if I can do that. And sorry, my phone just rang. So, but anyways, take care, guys, and feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you. Bye.